Joining me in studio now is a very big Facebook fan, Paul Theron.
Huge.
Such a big fan that I couldn't find him on Facebook when I searched him. Please explain yourself.
What do you mean? I'm a friend of yours on Facebook. I saw your walk on the weekend and your pictures going up the mountain.
Are you on Facebook, Paul?
I'm like in the background
Are
there.
we friends? Jeez, okay.
In my opinion, Facebook is just for people under 13, stay-at-home mothers, and egomaniacs with big photo collections.
So I'm trying to. So where are you and where am I?
I'm nowhere. You are unusual.
Careful what you say now. Okay, so the biggest news story out today is actually Glencore and Xstrata. Possible merger there. Do you think it's going to be allowed by the competition authorities?
Some of the interesting wrinkles there are, yes. I mean, by scale, it'll certainly put them in the first division because, you know, Glencore, Xstrata, both kind of there or thereabouts, but not quite at the scale of Rio's and BHP Billiton. You know, they have this existing connection, as you know. The one's more involved with marketing, the other one's commodities, the other is more involved with the actual digging up. Very interesting around the personalities. I mean, Mick Davis, South African, ex from PE. You know, Glassenberg, Ivan from Johannesburg. So this is like the Joburg versus PE thing. Talk in the marketplace is that Glassenberg will actually take the deputy CEO position, which by most people's calculations means he'll be gone within 18 months. But of course, he's worth $10 billion because he was like the major beneficiary of the listing process. Davis, though, is exceedingly ambitious guy, one of South Africa's kind of most talented CEO exports. So it's kind of interesting if you think about the mining sector. We've got all these South Africans that are in senior executive positions out there. But, you know,
Does it make sense?
What, the merger?
Yeah.
Well, as you know, the most exciting things with mergers is to consider what the name of the combined entity will be. So we've got Glencore and Xstrata. The best suggestion so far is Xcore, but that sounds a bit like a pornography site. So maybe Extra Core, but that sounds like the premium version of a pornography site. So I'm not quite sure where we're going with this meme, but I think chances are the transaction's going to happen. The interesting thing, of course, is that there's been a lot of upbidding of Anglo going on in our market, which doesn't make sense to me much, but people are saying that if these other two get together, that makes it more likely that they're going to bid for Anglo, which doesn't really follow for me, but there you are.
Okay, but I'm still worried about, the reason I mentioned competition authorities is because we saw what happened with the NYSE and, of course, the Deutsche Börse as well.
Börse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, that's quite tactical and sort of nation-state issues, and they're all kind of issues around trading. I mean, copper mining and oil and, you know, kind of iron ore and that stuff, who cares about that? You know, it's true, you could kind of corner the market,
Just
but I don't
natural
think...
resources that you consume and, you know, nothing really important. So Vodacom trading
If
above...
it was up to me, I'd approve all transactions. So.
Vodacom today trading above...
Fantastic.
100 Rand for the very first time.
It's amazing because, you know, for a long time, MTN has been the preferred player because of its Nigerian exposure, which is doing so well, and Vodacom was like the ugly sister that nobody wanted to talk about. But quietly, it's done extremely well. It's paid out great dividends. It's benefited from its unbundling from Telkom in a big way. And here it is trading at 100. I mean, people love the dividend yield. They love the fact that it's got the connection with Vodafone Group. Maybe they like the red branding more than the blue branding or something. So, I mean, here it is. I don't know what to say about it except, wow.
Do you own Vodacom?
We own some, although we're so much more invested in MTN.
But you've been so loyal to MTN for such a long time.
You know, loyalty is important in the market. You've got to stick to your guns.
So let's touch on the US elections. I know you've been looking at that as well.
Yeah, look, it's kind of coming to a head now. As you know, the main two category candidates for the Republicans are Mitt Romney and Newt Gingrich. Looks as though Romney's getting the thing sorted, although he made a terrible, terrible gaffe yesterday where he said, I'm not really interested in the really poor because, you know, there's the social net. They can look after themselves. But that soundbite, I think it's going to play
viral, hasn't it?
Not so well because he's an extremely rich person. He's a private equity financier. He helped start Bain Capital. He's got a personal fortune northwards of $350 million. Interestingly, most of which is parked in offshore investment accounts. So it's going to be interesting to see how the middle ground that determines the outcome of US elections is going to warm to, you know, a guy like that who is, you know, obviously from the 1%. You know, Barack Obama, we know where he comes from. Much loved
That's why you have
by
to
the
be
middle
very
ground.
careful when you're in the spotlight in terms of what you say, especially
Exactly.
about the poor.
People will edit your sound clips and then play them back at you.
Media does not do that. Thank you so much, Paul, for joining us. Paul Theron from Vestax.